like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 3, episode something, but this is part 2 of the reunion. So, it was a good part 2. It was a good part 2. But I hope you all have subscribed to my channel, and if you have not, go ahead and subscribe and be an active subscriber, which means watch videos, share, like the videos, comment in the comment section, all those good things. And also do not forget to hit the notification bell that lets you know when I have new videos up. I say it every week in every video, be an active subscriber. Okay, anyway, so we see Karen comes back on stage after her little heartfelt breakdown of her father's passing. I'm not going to talk about that too much because it's too serious to be jokey about. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at the end of the day, all the ladies feel like Karen is a very strong woman, and they all basically, feel for her loss and know that she's going through a hard time. And at this point, nothing else matters. And I'm let's not even try to say, oh, well, no. Karen, is going through a tough loss, which I get, okay? So the most I would say is Karen's going through a hard time, but at the same time, there are still things that went on that has to be questioned, that has to be questioned, that happened before this happened. So I'm let's kind of move on to the rest of the reunion. So we do see how people were saying how it's weird that Gizelle and Karen are so cool. Gizelle got up and went to go check on her, and Gizelle came out saying how, Karen is the strongest woman she's ever known. So they people were saying how it's just y'all friendship was strange. Karen and Gizelle both admit it's strange. Karen said how people wanted her to basically not be friends with Gizelle any longer, and she said that's not going to happen because they just have this. It's like they can be beefing or whatever, they can make up and then they fine. But that's kind of how you are when you get older or whatever, up in your years. You can be like, you know what, you pissed me off, but you know what, I'm over it now, so let's kind of be cool. And plus, they're on a reality show. Let's not forget that. So Andy bring up, well, since y'all are kind of cool now, maybe Gizelle can be cool with Monique, maybe Gizelle can be cool with Candace. I don't think so. And I don't think Gizelle and Candace has a huge issue. I don't think it's a huge issue with Monique either. They just don't mesh. Okay. And I think Candace, well, I know her and Monique does not mesh. I think Candace it's her first season, and she's just trying to come in guns a-blazing. I think next season she may be a little bit more calm, especially if next season, because we know she's already gotten married. So I'm we don't need no more wedding talk. Next season better not be about the wedding. Next season will probably be, we can see the wedding, but I don't need the whole season of the wedding shit at all. No. Nope. Anyway, we see Andy trying to kind of convince Candace to invite Gizelle to the wedding, and she's like, no. And at this point in time, Gizelle wasn't asking to come. Candace kept on saying, well, she does not want to come, so I'm not going to waste $500 on a plate of food for her if she does not want to come. I think she just wanted Gizelle to say, can I come? I want to come. And at this point in time, Candace wasn't saying, Gizelle wasn't saying shit. So, yeah. Kendall gate. Kendall, who was Sherman's ex-wife, this whole debacle was, a long drawn out situation. We also see they bring Charisse out on stage at this point in time to discuss Kendallgate, and Gizelle brings up how, because they asked how is it that Monique was kind of looked at as she did this, but not Karen or not Charisse. So Gizelle goes on to say, well, it's because Monique planned to bring Gizelle on the show. She planned it before season 3 started, and that was her whole thing. She wanted to get her on the show to get at me. And Monique said that was Charisse trying to get her on the show. Charisse like, bitch, what? Bitch, who? No. So Charisse does admit, Okay, for season 1 and season 2, I did suggest Kendall, and then Gizelle said they suggested her for season 1. She was boring. Season 2, she was boring. So they kept suggesting her, and she didn't make it because she was boring. And so I'm like, well, that's okay. That's the thing. So she said, but again, when I suggested she come on the show, it was before her and Sherman were even dating. Like, it was just, I knew her, so I did suggest her for the show. So she said, coming into season 3, you know what I'm saying? She said, I did say it would be interesting to see what would happen if Kendall made an appearance. So she does admit that she suggested things. She does admit that she said things, but she keeps saying but I had nothing to do with her actually getting on the show. Meaning, Monique, if I talked to you and I said, like, it'd be interesting for that to happen, you still made it happen. I did not make it happen. I couldn't get her ass on here the first 2 seasons, but however, you did it for your own reasons. And I feel like, too, the only person that Kendall shot with was Monique. So Monique can't make it seem as if, well, I didn't get on the show. Yes, the fuck you did. Then how did she get to your house? Like, you brought the bitch up. Like, you did it. And I feel like production also went along with the shit because they want it to be entertaining season. So again, it was Monique and also the producers. So Gizelle is saying how, you know, for her, at this point in time, you see Gizelle and Monique arguing back and forth. I don't think about you. I don't think about you. Y'all both think about each other. However, in this situation, Monique can't say, girl, I don't think about you. Yes, you do. You thought about her enough to bring Kendall on the show. Like, I don't have to bring a whole other woman on the show to get up your skin. I do that by waking up. I mean, I've said before, Monique has this thing in her head to where I do think Monique and Gizelle are much alike. They really, really are. People just can't see it because people have already come to hate Gizelle. But if you think about it, her and Monique are the same person. They both do things the same kind of way. The difference is sometimes Gizelle will own up to her bullshit and she'll say, well, I did what I did. Whereas Monique still will not own up to the fact that she brought Kendall on the show. Okay. But I'm like, y'all both think about each other. Like, ain't neither one of y'all better than the other. But Monique can't make it seem as if I don't think about you. But 'cause in this instance, you were thinking about Gizelle because you brought Kendall on the show. And who cares? And you did it to irk the girl nerves. We do see them talk about Gizelle and Sherman. Okay, she brings up how her and Sherman kind of broke up or whatever because he was overwhelmed by the attention he was getting from one being on the show, 2 dating Gizelle, and then people were like calling him and I guess contacting him about that People's article that had him in there. Some people don't want to be famous. Some people can't. I don't think some people recognize how hard it is to have people like all in your business. So I think he maybe thought, like, I can date her or whatever, it'll be fine. But it wasn't until he like was dating her, the show was airing, and he was getting all this attention that he wasn't ready for. So she brings up that he wasn't prepared for that, and that's what made him kind of walk away. She do say how, they're back talking. They're back communicating on a regular basis, which means they're basically kind of dating or whatever. She brings up how they're basically back in contact. They're going to go to some therapy, couples therapy, baby, to get in a better place. And they're just taking things one day at a time. But she also brought, because they're like, well, you just want to get married or whatever. That could be what it is. And she says, for me, if I never get married again, I'm okay with that. And then Karen says, I believe you. Like, I believe that at the end of the day, if you never got married again, you'll be perfectly okay because you are okay with your life. And I think that was a great compliment, meaning you don't need to be married and you're okay with not being married. But if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm like, I agree. So they then bring up how Monique was saying on the show about Sherman cheating on his ex-wife, and if how she got a lot of flack from viewers for doing that. She says, well, I felt terrible about that. I'm saying that's the one thing I would wish I could take back or whatever. I wish I never said it. And Gizelle was like, well, you said it a few times, so at what point did you feel bad? Like, you didn't start feeling bad until social media and the viewers went in that ass. And I can agree with that. Sometimes a person will say things over and over and over, and it isn't until someone says, I can't believe you said that. You're like, oh, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. But you didn't feel bad in the moment of saying it. And I think what Gizelle said was true. You didn't feel bad talking about it on that show because you kept bringing it. It wasn't something you mentioned one time. You said it more than one time to multiple people. So I get what Gizelle meant by saying you don't feel bad. You didn't feel bad. You didn't feel bad in that moment. You did not. You didn't feel better, so you watched it back and realized people said that you weren't shit for doing that. So when Gizelle was saying that to her, like, you know what I'm saying, you was only because the media went off on you. Monique gonna say, Gizelle, mind your business. And Gizelle said, this is my business. You were spreading the lie while I was dating him. So at that point in time, and he said, well, it was her business, and it was. So again, Monique at times will throw a rock, had her hand. She only was feeling bad because of social media. It wasn't anything else more than that. But you know, I was just like, she said, but you said it's okay because I'll apologize to Sherman, but I won't apologize to Gizelle. Gizelle said he don't want no goddamn apology from you. He good. She says he knows that Monique is a horrible person. I don't think Monique is a horrible person. I think Monique has horrible ways when she doesn't realize that anyone's watching her. I think if she could do stuff and no one knew she did it, she would do it, okay? Because, oh, no one knew I really told Kendall to come here. Like, no one knows that. Like, no one knows that Charisse introduced me to Kendall. You know, it's like a whole, like, she's sneaky. She's sneaky just like Gizelle, okay? They are the same goddamn person. Anyway, we then see how basically Monique and Charisse are no longer friends, or at least they're not friends how they were before. You know, Charisse is weird because you don't know the reason. Charisse did not really say the reason. She kept on saying how Monique was doing things that didn't sit right with me, and I just, you know, couldn't support that. But she doesn't say like what it was. You know, they didn't bring up was it because she was like, you feel like she was using you for your contacts, or was she using you for like being in Potomac? And she said, well, I never said that, even though she didn't kind of agree when others said it. She's like, well, I never said that. She's like, it's just things she did that I did not agree with. Monique said how, well, you know, she would introduce me to people. She would tell me that I need to use her people. She would say, you know, don't use your person, use my person, or I have a better masseuse than you. Well, I don't do that, whatever. And then she wanted to argue about masseuse versus massage therapist. I'm thinking like, what's the fucking difference? Well, one does no, they're the same thing. Okay, no, they're the exact same thing. And I'm like, what is there a difference? No, it's not a difference. Monique just likes to be uppity and sedity. But again, they beefed out basically, and they just not friends. I don't know why. I mean, it could be because Charisse felt that Monique was funny acting and was using her for her contacts or whatever. Because even if I say I'll help you do this and this and this, do I want you to then be friends with my friends without me? I don't know. So it's petty of Charisse at the same time, but I think her and Monique just need to talk it out to see kind of what the real issue is, because it seems like there's like a fake issue, like not a real issue, a fake issue, and they kind of won't say what it is. But you know, so who cares? The husbands then come out. Lord Jesus. Okay, the husbands come out, baby. And the first thing they bring up is White Chris's penis. And I'm saying White Chris because we got White Chris, who was Candace's husband, and Black Chris, who was Monique's husband. I don't have time to say Monique's husband. White Chris, Black Chris. You get what it is. So they're talking about White Chris's penis color. And he just admits that his penis color is not white. And I'm like, I mean, I don't want to know this, you know, because Andy's like, is it white or is it brown? And he says, well, I'll say that it's not white. And I said, well, is it an off-white, like dingy color? Like, is it, because I mean, if it's off-white and dingy, and like it can look brown, like an off-white, yellow, dingy color looks brown. So I'm like, it could just be a dirty dick, who knows? But I don't care to see his penis. I know we should have never known what color his penis is. I'm like, that's just weird. But I mean, some black dudes, some brown skin, with some dark skin guys have light skin penises, so it's not abnormal. You know, I've seen different color penises on black men. Anyway, too much information. They asked him how he feels when he saw Candace say that she felt like she basically compromised herself or kind of went lower than what she thought she could go by dating him. He said, well, I don't think that's how she meant it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she felt that way now. Yes, the fuck she does. Okay, yes, she does. She said, like, she's lowered her levels to date your ass, okay? And then she says, well, that was kind of selfish for me to say, but I don't think that daily. Even if you think it weekly, even if you think it monthly, why would you think that you lowered your standards to date this man, to marry this man? I'm like, girl, bye. Okay, she feels that. Okay, she may not feel it daily, but she feels it on a regular basis. I know that damn much. And I'm like, well, he lowered his levels to date somebody with a bad wig who got a wig line. Okay, he don't know about that. Oh, princess. Anyway, they bring up that third kid of his. Well, no, technically his first kid, because his first kid is the oldest. He's 15. So his oldest child, they asked him if he has had any contact with the kid. He says, well, you know, I've written letters, I've sent this, I've sent that, I've sent everything that would give them the information to contact me, and I have not heard back from them. Excuse me. This is how I feel. We don't know why he is not in contact with that kid. Like, is the mom just a bitch? Okay, it's the mama bitch and she just refuses to like let y'all be around. But like, and if that's the case, why have you never went to court to get at least visitation rights to see the kid? I don't get it. And I don't think, oh, I'm gonna mail him a letter. First of all, I just checked my mail today, and I had not checked my mail in at least 3 weeks. Okay, my P.O. box. I don't have a P.O. box because people send me things. Y'all be sending me stuff. I'm like, oh, thank you. But yeah, my P.O. box, I don't check it often, but I go check it when I need to. So my thing is, how do you know he even getting the mail? Like, why won't you call, like, wherever he is, like, go there and say, hey, lawyer people, hey, state of whatever, court of whatever, let me know what I need to do, because this is my son. I have not seen and talked to him in 15 years for 10 years, for whatever the reason is, but I want to get visitations. How can I go about legally making sure the mom gives me leeway to at least have some kind of visitation to see him, to start building back a relationship? The fact that that hasn't happened lets me know he don't really want to be in that kid's life. Because if you really wanted it, you would do more than send a letter. Okay, you would do way more than send a fucking letter. Who reads letters? People send emails, text messages. You sent the whole goddamn snail mail letter. The mailman could have dropped that letter. Okay, I'm like, I sent them all kind of letters and asked all my contact information. Contact the fucking lawyer, give him your contact information, have him contact the mama, and have them lawyers talk, okay, and get them at least some fucking visit. Until Chris goes and does that, you can't tell me that I've done all I can to talk to him. You have not, bruh. You haven't. And stop lying and say that you have. And again, it's a reason they not really saying why he hasn't seen this kid in 10 years. Why? That's a fucking mystery to me. Anyway, we have now Black Chris is talking. You know, he brings up how it was, you know, they had a hard time when Monique had the miscarriage, how that was very hard for him. And he said also seeing the comments on social media made him upset, because one person did say that she lost the baby because she's an alcoholic. This is one thing I'm gonna say about that. They're taking that one comment, and they're trying to spin it into, oh, because the show painted her as a drinker, now the audience is calling her alcoholic. And that person who said that comment was an asshole. Like a complete, you have these people who post things, they purposely try to post the most mean and hurtful things to get at you. But I'm like, don't use that one idiotic, stupid, mean, hateful comment as a reason for the whole alcohol thing. Because the question that what they were kind of talking about was, what does he think about how the ladies were, the whole drinking incident and the accident situation? Oh, we had a show kind of portray things in a weird way, you know. People said, and I'm like, but what you didn't answer was if your wife has a drinking problem, okay? And again, I don't think Monique is a full-fledged alcoholic. I don't think that. I do think she enjoyed her wine, and I just know that because he's her husband, he would never say on camera. I do think she should not have driven after drinking that day. He ain't gonna say that, but I'm like, if he don't think that, then he just is crazy and in denial as her ass is. Again, as we said before, was Athy and drinking, and was Monique drinking? They both were. However, only Monique crashed her car after drinking. I don't know why they won't just admit or acknowledge that's what happened. So again, the comment that person made was horrendous. We not gonna act as if, oh, they had a right to say whatever, because that was some stupid ass shit. But you know, you can't let these comments that people do get to you. Just ignore the bullshit. But again, he did not address if his wife has a drinking problem. And again, it's not like she's an alcoholic, but she likes her wine whenever, and because she likes her wine, she crashed her damn car. Boom. Anyway, they then asked Ray, why did he not tell Karen or mention to Karen how bad or how serious the tax situation was going to get, or how bad it was. He like, look, I didn't think it would get to a point where it would affect her. I didn't think it would, ever become a public situation or anything that would go over to her personal taxes. And then he says how the company itself has some issues, the government has some issues, so I couldn't talk about what's going on. He's like, but, you know what I'm saying, that did not stop the show or the news from exploiting the situation. They like, bruh, it was in the Washington Post. It was in a whole real newspaper. Like, it wasn't no media takeout. It wasn't, well, eventually it got there, but it was in a real life publication. So like, you can't make it. And he said like, yeah, it was in the news, and she's on the show. You can't think that it would not come up. So, it was what it was. He says that how he is paying on the debt. He did not say how much it was. He did not say how much his payments were. What we do know is he didn't pay off the debt. Okay, they're not that rich. They're making payments on it. Okay, so the Grand Dame don't have all the money that we thought she had, because they ain't nothing about the damn taxes. Anyway, they then talk about Pizzagate with the whole Robin, Gizelle, and Ashley taking the pizza to the porch. People say, I think it was the fucking Aniva, someone said Ray and Karen gonna come up with a real crafty answer as to that pizza situation. And Ray then says, y'all, the landscapers got in trouble because the boss of the landscape people thought his crew had left the pizza out there and it was eaten on a job, and how the rodents got into it or whatever. So he like chewed out his guy thinking it was their pizza. We did not ever know that it was y'all pizza or whatever. And I'm like, but when they asked Karen act like she had no idea about no goddamn pizza. So I mean, I'm not gonna say they lying or telling the truth. Robin does, like, I never really believed that you did not live there, but I really want you to come to the door to dispel the rumor that you did not live there. And that was the point of me doing it. Karen don't, Karen like, look, y'all did it, shit was some petty shit, it was y'all being mean spirited. Like, I don't think it was done to like be nice or whatever. You can't tell me that. And it was stupid. The girls like, we thought it was fun. Like, it was in jest. Potato. It's just two different sides of a coin. Was they petty for doing it? They really, really were. But it's a lot of bullshit on these shows that happen. I'm looking like, okay, who cares? It's not that deep. But again, the whole the landscapers got the landscapers. Anyway, Gizelle said she thinks Karen lives in a part of the house, not the whole house. But Karen said, y'all saw my purse on the counter, so so we do live there. It's fine. We live there together. It's our house, whatever. And at that point in time, they was all like laughing. It was kind of cool. They then bring up Matt, okay, and they telling Karen how you need to tell Matt to stop lying, saying that you don't live there. Like, Matt is the one who started it. Karen does not believe that Matt said anything. So Karen like, whatever, that's not true. Like, Matt kind of hangs out with you all now. And I'm like, is he like, really? So Charisse then says, oh no, I've been around Matt and I've heard him and he does talk about you. Then Candace then said, well, I've been around Matt too. I have not heard him talk about Karen, but I have heard him speak about other ladies. So, and which to me meant he may know not to talk about Karen to me, but if he talked about the other ladies, he probably talks about you too when he's in their presence. So I mean, Matt's a messy person, if you ask me. Here come Michael. Oh Jesus, I don't want to really get into all the bullshit that he said. You know what I'm saying? When he was starting to question Ray and Karen, that pissed me the fuck off, because you were worse than Ashley. Like, it makes us realize you and Ashley are like the same goddamn person. He somehow he does not understand why they moved from a house they owned in Potomac to a house they don't own and they're renting in Great Falls, which is so far away from Potomac that does not make any sense. And he then says, Ray, I assume you are a smart businessman. Despite your tax issues, who signs a return if you don't? Who decides a return if you don't understand it? First of all, the fact that you said you assume he is a smart businessman is insulting. Okay, Michael, shut your ass up forever. Like, just have several thousand seats in all the stadiums. Fuck you forever. It doesn't make sense because it's not your business. Let's say that. Why are you an athlete sitting around like really investigating and looking into and oh well he's in the real estate, but he not they person. Like, bruh, stop, okay? And athletes sat there and let him kind of just keep going and going and going. I'm not, girl. Tell your husband to shut the fuck up. Like, tell him to leave it alone. Y'all both seem very vindictive. Y'all both seem very petty. Y'all both seem very fucking nosy and worried about everybody else's business except your own. So just cut it the fuck out. Ray shot back like, you have issues too, but we don't talk about them because it's not our business. So you need to be quiet before and then before I tell it all. So I really wish they would have told something on him. They did not, but they told him, like, we know stuff too, but we don't care. It ain't our business to talk about it. So, you do the same and leave us the fuck be. Michael then goes into how he wants an apology from Karen for Karen saying that he was in London basically slinging gay dick. I don't care. Karen, like, I'm not apologizing for shit. Shut up, Sherlock. He brings up how he brought his passport. So my passport would prove that I was not in London at the time it's supposed to happen. It wasn't me. So you say you owe me an apology. Karen, like, fuck it, bro. No, be good, love, and enjoy. So yeah, Karen. We didn't find out that Karen sent Athy a cease and desist to no longer speak about Blue Eyes. I don't care. Can't say it enough. I don't care. The funny part was that Karen then said, if you talk about it, I'm going to sue you, take your restaurant, and give it to your mother. I said, well, goddamn it, girl. Ray does bring up how he knows Blue Eyes. He's known Blue Eyes for years. He says, I have Blue Eyes' number in my phone, and I have, again, for the past 15 years. They're like, well, did you ever, like, think something was up or whatever? He said, well, some years ago I did, and I investigated it into my satisfaction. I didn't find nothing there or whatever. But I'm like, that could have been that I asked her, was they fucking? They said no, and that was it. So who knows? Anyway, but yeah, I don't care about Blue Eyes. Does Karen and Ray possibly have an arranged marriage where she can fuck other people? Yeah. People have marriages that work for them. Okay, if you think that we have people who have polygamy who will have multiple wives, it ain't far fetched that Karen and Ray has an agreement that she can fuck somebody else and he don't care. But my thing is, no one else should care, because if they still together, who cares? Who cares? Okay, fuck Blue Eyes and Red Eyes and Green Eyes, whatever. I don't really care. Ashley and Michael admits they want children and that they have been trying for kids. She brings up how she actually got pregnant right before her 30th birthday, but she lost the baby a few weeks into her pregnancy. She had a miscarriage as well, which of course made Monique emotional, because they share that situation. So Monique was very like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like, it makes us have a deeper connection because we both experienced something that was kind of horrendous. So she brings up how she also lost a kid when she was in her early 20s, and so she fears that something could be wrong with her, and that's why she's had 2 miscarriages. So she's like, how she's going to, I think it's like a Chinese medical doctor or something like that is helping her like do this whole all natural things to kind of get her body ready to have a baby. Michael, says how he, it hurt him very deeply that she had a miscarriage, how he felt like her and him will have a long life together. I'm like, really? Do you really? Are you sure? He brings up how it was never about him not wanting kids with her in the beginning or before. He said it was more about us being in a better place to actually have kids. I can understand that, because I do not think kids save a marriage. I do not think if you're beefing with your husband that you should have children. I do feel like, though, you should make sure that the reasoning for not having them has nothing to do with anything else, except our relationship right now is not strong enough for us to have kids because we're not really, you know what I'm saying, on the same page. Like but again, Michael, fuck you. But he says now I do want kids with her, like I love her, whatever. He was all nice and sappy because but it could be because all season people somehow don't want her, and he could be trying to save face. We do find out that her mom and Michael are in a better place, but it's a work in progress. Okay, it's a work in progress. And she brings up how the mom is still with that boyfriend, but the boyfriend is much better because he's not working for the first time in 15 years. I say, well, damn, is that right? And they say it was kind of about the show because he watched the show and he saw how he was kind of portrayed and how people looked at him through, a whole different set of lenses. So he said for him, he changed a little bit and he's better now, he's working. And so she also brings up how they went on like some kind of family outing and they have not done that in forever, and like the boyfriend was there. So it's like it's basically getting better. Well, I mean, look, it had to, because if not, the mama gonna be homeless. So it kind of ends at that point or whatever. We see Ashley did a whole little weird video to that song she wrote for Michael. I mean, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for any housewife who was not really a singer trying to have a singing career. I'd be like, no. And the song is so cheesy. I'm like, it's like a 15-year-old should wrote it. Anyway, I'm like, good, love, enjoy. They kind of bring up the lessons they learned this season. I didn't care much about anybody's lesson. I felt like Karen had the best one. She said that, life is short and keep your family close and your friends close as well. I thought that was the best way to end the season based on all that they all had went through. They all are on good terms. A little bit here, a little bit there, whatever. To the point where when they were toasting at the end, Monique then said to Candace, you know what? I do want to go to your wedding. She's like, do you? She's like, yeah, if you invite me, I'll come. I would love to be there. And so Gizelle is going. Who cares? Anyway, that is the reunion review. Put your comments below. Do not forget to put your comments below, bitch. Anyway, I'm done. Peace.